question is, when is a tooth called dead? What needs to be done for a dead tooth? So when you have a cavity and the cavity gets bigger, and sometimes you start to hurt, or sometimes you may not be hurting, you may go to the dentist, and at that time the dentist may tell you the cavity is too bad or too big. I'm glad like you are not hurting yet, but more than likely the tooth, it looks like you need a root canal. So when you do a root canal treatment, or we call it as a RCT, or what we call as root canal treatment, for example. So either you are hurting, or you may not hurt yet, but you have a bigger cavity. So the root canal needs to be done. When they do the root canal, either your dentist or your root canal specialist or an endodontist, they do the root canal for you. They completely remove the nerve from inside the tooth. So now, because they remove all the blood supply and the nerve inside the tooth, and now that's why it's called a dead tooth, because it does not receive a blood supply, it does not have the nerve to it. So when it becomes a dead tooth, now you have a root canal for this tooth. Depending on where the tooth is, you may or may not need a crown. For example, on the front teeth, if you have a root canal, can you possibly get by without having to do a root canal? Yes, the answer is yes. Although the tooth may become brittle because it's a dead tooth, you may get by without a root canal on a front tooth because it is not a chewing tooth. On the back teeth, more than likely we are going to recommend, after the tooth becomes dead, when you get a root canal, you are going to need a crown because the tooth itself becomes brittle, and you don't want to end up chewing actively on those teeth where you have the root canal, or where those teeth are dead, and you're going to end up breaking them because now the tooth is dead. You are going to put the same function as a live tooth. Now you're going to end up breaking them. So our recommendation at that point is you need to have a crown for those teeth. For the front teeth, can you get by without crowns or veneers on those teeth? Possibly yes, but sometimes what happens on those front teeth, when you have root canals done, the tooth starts to change color. So when you have a dead tooth, when it starts to change color, at that point that tooth may need a crown, even if it is a front tooth. So what needs to be done? When is a tooth called dead? When you get a root canal, the tooth is called dead. What needs to be done for a dead tooth? More than likely you may need a crown for a dead tooth, depending on the position of your tooth.